a read-aloud summary of The Go-Giver. This book explores a simple but radical idea about success that may change your life. It does not teach this idea through lectures or formulas. Instead, it tells a quiet story, one that unfolds slowly, like a lesson whispered rather than shouted. The story begins. A young man in a hurry. At the center of the book is a young man named Joe. Joe is ambitious, he is driven, he wants to succeed, and he wants to succeed now. Joe works in sales, and like many young people today, he feels pressure from every direction. He wants recognition, he wants results, he wants proof that his hard work is paying off. But something is wrong. Despite his effort, Joe is not winning. Deals fall apart. Opportunities slip away, and the harder he pushes, the more resistance he feels from the world. Joe believes success comes from working harder, pushing faster, and demanding more. And yet, the world does not seem to reward him for it. One day, Joe meets his mentor Gus, a calm, older man whose success is unmistakable, but whose manner is gentle, almost relaxed. Gus listens to Joe's frustration, and then Gus does something unexpected. He tells Joe that if he truly wants success, he must spend the next week meeting a series of people, each one wildly successful, and listening to what they have to say. Joe agrees, though he is skeptical. And this is where the real lesson begins. The first law, the law of value. Joe's first meeting is with Pindar, a successful businessman who explains the law of value. Your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. This idea confuses Joe. He has always believed value equals price. More money means more worth. But Pindar gently explains that money is only a measure, not the source. True value comes from service, from solving problems, from improving lives, from making something easier, clearer, or better for another person. When you focus only on what you can get, your value remains limited. But when you focus on what you can give, your value expands endlessly. This is the first shift in Joe's thinking. Success is no longer about extracting value from others. It is about creating value so generously that rewards follow naturally. The second law, the law of compensation. Next, Joe meets Sam, who teaches him the law of compensation. Your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. This law moves Joe's focus outward, not how much can I earn, but how many lives can I touch? Sam explains that influence grows through reach. A person who helps one person deeply is valuable. A person who helps thousands, even in small ways, can change the world.
This is why teachers, writers, creators, and innovators can earn so much. Their work scales.
The key lesson here is profound and comforting. You do not need to be extraordinary to succeed. You need to be useful to many. The third law, the law of influence. Joe then meets Rachel, who introduces the law of influence. Your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interests first. This is the emotional heart of the book. Rachel explains that real influence is never forced. People do not follow because they are manipulated. They follow because they feel seen, respected, and valued. Influence grows when you listen more than you speak, when you ask before you sell, when you care more about the relationship than the transaction. Joe realizes something uncomfortable. He has been thinking about himself almost all the time. Rachel does not judge him. She simply invites him to imagine a different way of moving through the world. A quieter way, a kinder way, a way that builds trust instead of pressure. The fourth law, the law of authenticity. The next teacher explains the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you have to offer is yourself. This law warns against pretending, against copying others, against wearing masks to appear successful. Authenticity means alignment between who you are, what you say, and how you act. People can feel truth, they can feel sincerity, and they can feel fear disguised as confidence. When you are authentic, you attract the right opportunities and repel the wrong ones. This law reassures readers who feel they do not fit in. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are simply becoming. The fifth law, the law of receptivity. Finally, Joe learns the last and most surprising rule, the law of receptivity. The key to effective giving is to stay open to receiving. Joe's confused again. Isn't giving about sacrifice? But the lesson is clear. If you refuse to receive, you block the flow. Receiving is not selfish. It completes the cycle. You honor the giver by accepting. You allow value to circulate. Many people fail not because they give too little, but because they believe they are unworthy of receiving. This law gently teaches self-worth. The turning point. At the end of the week, Joe faces a major professional test. This time he does not push, he listens, he serves. And something extraordinary happens. The deal works. Not because he chased it, but because he created value and trust. Joe has not changed the world. He has changed himself. And that is enough. Essential takeaways. This book teaches that success is not a race. It is a relationship. Value creates money, not the other way around. Influence comes from service, not dominance. Authenticity outperforms perfection. Receiving is part of giving. For young people struggling, this message is quiet but powerful. You do not need to fight the world to win. You need to understand it. And then, gently, generously, give more than expected.
Closing reflection. This book does not promise quick riches. It promises something deeper, a way of living that makes success inevitable. Not through force, not through fear, but through value, kindness, and courage. And in a noisy world that demands you take, the go-giver dares to say, give first, give well, and trust the current to carry you forward. The most successful people are not the ones who chase success directly, but the ones who give more value than they take.
Thank you for watching. If this content resonated with you, I would appreciate your likes and comments, which help this reach more people who might find it useful.